And now we reach our last and perhaps least sought after award. Yes, it is the prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award. And we have a special guest to host our award. Please welcome Alok Sharma, President of COP26.
Only the most accomplished at spewing carbon, ecosystem polluting, and community destroying even get a look in for this award. With the Lifetime Achievements Award, you are asked to acknowledge the company that has been unrelenting in its dedication to pollution and made more than a pretty penny in doing so. Sounds jolly good to me. Now on to our final list of nominees. First up, raise your glasses for the fourth largest polluter in the world, Exxonmobil. In Scotland, they operate the Fife ethylene plant at Mossmoran, which in 2018 stood as the country's third largest industrial polluter. An unsurpassed North Sea numpty, their North Sea operations produced 80,000 barrels of oil and 441 million cubic feet of gas per day. And equally successful at sowing discord as they are at driving carbon emissions, Exxon have been aware of the effect of carbon dioxide in causing climate change since 1968, but instead of being rather silly and telling the truth, they cunningly invested in climate denial, stalling meaningful action by decades. Next up is Shell. Shell is the seventh on the list of historic carbon polluters and a community destroyer par excellence. Their operations in the Niger Delta over the past 20 years have spilled over 1.8 million tonnes of oil, which they rightfully refuse to clean up. Their position as a peerless polluter has been in full display in Scotland, with the Mossmoran gas facility in Fife, the St Fergus gas terminal in Peterhead, and a 30% stake in the proposed Cambo oil field, all the while paying no tax in the UK. An arrangement I give my rotten-hearted support to. Our third challenger is BAE Systems. BAE is the Bay of Europe and the UK when it comes to contracting defence. They are knee-deep in the nuclear weapons industry, and their record as a heavy lifter for neo-imperialism is unsurpassed. They are the sixth largest military contractor in the world, to the single biggest institutional carbon emitter, the US military. And Saudi Arabia is their third largest customer, having put all their weapons to jolly good use in bombing in Yemen. BAE achieved their prominence through the support of government investment, including the Strathclyde Pension Fund, based in Glasgow, who invest tens of millions of public money into the company. Pride of Glasgow, BAE still run two facilities along the docks where they're building new cruisers for the Royal Navy fleet. Fourth is Ineos. Ineos are rightfully lauded by the likes of me for their activities in the fracked gas sector, including bringing devastation to local communities in Yorkshire, polluting water sources, and causing tremors. However, they are walling in North Sea oil and gas as well, and the new gas-powered blue hydrogen power plant they intend to build in Grangemouth demonstrates their undying commitment to gas. Ineos are exceptionally good at being a horrendously bad business. Next up is Drax. Drax Power Station in Yorkshire is truly one of the best examples of the kind of polluter we like in this country. Owner of the UK's biggest power station, Drax claims that being the world's biggest burner of trees makes it renewable, a renewable alternative to fossil fuels. And I'm happy to admit our government has bought that hook, line and sinker. And if this wasn't enough, Drax has expanded its biomass burning capacity by swallowing Pinnacle, a major Canadian wood-burning pellet producer. And finally, we have BP. BP, or Beyond Petroleum, are trying to rebrand themselves as a climate solution. I say this is beyond plausible. With much hoo-ha, they have announced a new focus on achieving net zero and expanding renewables, aiming for a 40% reduction in oil and gas production by 2030. This, happily, avoiding mention of the first-rate loopholes in this commitment, omitting BP's stake in fellow sterling polluter Rosneft, which Oil Change International says excludes 46% of their extracted carbon. When layered on top of their role as sixth largest historical polluter, stalwart of North Sea oil extraction, and pioneer driver of climate denial and greenwashing, we can see why BP were a favourite of mine to corporate capture and store this award. Now over to Kat.
for exceptional services to pollution is Drax. Clearly a highly competitive field, but Drax chainsawed and burned through the opposition. Bravo. Now we go to the Polluter itself, a Drax chimney tower, to accept our final and most prestigious award.
Thank you. We at Drax are so touched and appreciative that the judges got what we're about. It was so simple, really. We just kept on saying sustainable biomass, and Europe's biggest decarbonisation project, again and again, and paying Tony Juniper to say it on film, and paying our MP, Nigel Adams, £10,000, and doing loads of sponsorships of net zero festivals and other events in order to get platforms until you all, or most of you, believed it. We're so credible, it's incredible. And the Lifetime Achievement Award, thank you, amazing and so well deserved. There are so many people I'd like to thank, without whom we wouldn't have won this, and in particular, BAs, the Department of Business, Energy and Industrial Strategy, who have been behind us all the way as they are today. They have been so generous with your money, billions over the years helping us to burn more trees and coal. And I'd particularly like to thank the Americans for their forests, and the Canadians and Estonians and Latvians, so generous, and the lovely animals and plants, black bears, fly traps, so generously and willingly giving up their homes, despite many of them going extinct. I have a collection of birds here, all of them from old grove mangrove forests. Thank you. As you can see, there is a variety. We have the chimney swift, the Karelian warbler, the conducting warbler, and storks. All of these are going extinct with your help. Thank you again. And I'd like to thank all those organisations who have allowed us to sponsor their events, to get a platform to repeat their lives. Politicians who have met with us, and you all for voting for us and paying our subsidies. We could not have done it without you.